really pleased and she says to this person that इतनी खुश हूं, मेरा ऐसा रिसेप्शन किसी ने नहीं दिया, तो आज मैं अपनी लिस्ट नीचे से शुरू करूं. And this is the first person to go. Yeah, so we cannot trick death. Death is very powerful. People fear, everyone fears. No one wants to die. Mosquito fly, no one wants to die. Until and unless the life becomes even more miserable than the experience of death, then only people commit suicide. Yeah. But otherwise, it is a very powerful fear, or you can say a real problem. Apart from these four real problems, there are three more miseries are also there. अच्छा सर, आज तो आप हमें समस्या ही समस्या बताएंगे. हाँ, समस्या ही समस्या बताएंगे ताकि हमारी आंखें खुल जाए कि हमारी समस्या कितनी है जीवन में और रियल समस्या क्या है, हम सोल्यूशन भी निकाल पाएंगे. सी देयर इज वन लाइफ. एक मैसेज क्या करता है. हाँ, एज सुन एज ऑस्ट्रिच सी सम डेंजर इन फ्रंट, वो इमीडिएटली अपनी मुंडी जो है वो जमीन में गाड़ देता है. ओके, सो नाउ आई कैन नॉट सी द प्रॉब्लम, so problem does not. Okay, so let us ignore death by rethink. Will it go away? It is such a thing, it can any, no, it will come at any moment. And apart from these four problems, although they come, you know, uh, time to time in our life, but there are three miseries which always remain with us. What are these three miseries? They are known as आदि आत्मिक, आदि भौतिक एंड आदि दैविक क्लेश. ये क्या है? ये है आदि आत्मिक, आदि भौतिक एंड आदि दैविक क्लेश. आत्मिक क्लेश क्या होता है? आदि ड्यू टू आर, एज संदीप Prabhu pointed out, कि people are suffering from mind. Most of the people, it is not a real problem because not everyone is suffering, but it is a klesha, which means that it is there in life. It is a misery. So mental health issues now became one of the prominent emergencies to be to be dealt with in the world. And then there is a bhautik miseries, and then sticks, and then so many other things are there in our life. To Davic Klesh. Adi Davic Klesh means misery is coming from natural disturbances. Too much, too much rain, too much cold, too much hot. Disaster has happened in last few decades. Now the point, there must be some solutions. Science is also trying to bring solutions to the problems of life. Although they are kind of neglecting these real problems and just trying to work upon other problems which are there, you know. Is it a real life? Now बंद कर जा, ज़्यादा दिमाग खराब इनकम. Science also tried to give solutions to the problems of life, but what happens is, जब हम प्रॉब्लम्स को सही तरीके से जाने बिना, उसको समझे बिना और उसको कैसे डील करना है, इसका नॉलेज जब हमको नहीं होता है, attended what in one line, how to gain perfect knowledge. From a like, क्या बोलते हैं anyone knows? Quicksand बोलते हैं I think. Yes. So what happened? More will sink in it. Or some person come out. Until then, just be calm. Don't try to kick your legs or you know just fight with your hands and doing all these things. Otherwise, we'll die sooner. If we try to go through material advancement and by developing technology more complex, is it happening or not? Average death span, life span अभी कितना हो गया पता है आपको? 60 साल. हमारे दादा दादी कितने साल तक जिए? ऑन एन एवरेज मेरे दादाजी की डेथ हुई थी 100 ईयर, 100 साल तक वो जिए. मेरे दादी जो है वो 90 साल की उम्र में उनकी डेथ हुई. हमारे ग्रैंड पेरेंट्स 100 90. देयर आर सो मेनी डिसीज इन द मार्केट. कितने सारे हॉस्पिटल्स बन रहे हैं. व्हाई? हॉस्पिटल ज्यादा से ज्यादा हॉस्पिटल्स हैं. इट इज एडवांसमेंट और डिग्रेडेशन? We are very proud nowadays. We have such nice technologies to deal with the diseases, and we have so many hospitals, but it is a degradation. Nowadays, people are becoming more diseased. Young people's bodies are like old age people bodies nowadays. Yes? हमसे अगर बोला जाए 1 घंटे सीधे बैठिए, अरे इट इज लाइक अ तपस्या ऐसे बैठना बहुत मुश्किल है. तो कोई बोल दे अगर कुछ 40-50 किलो यहाँ से लेके बस गेट के बाहर तक छोड़ना है, नेक्स्ट डे विल बी इन आवर बेड्स. हाँ. But हमारे parents, they used to work so hard in their day-to-day life. Used to have such a strong bodies. अभी हमारे पास वो नहीं है. Happening, the necessities of life is going away, but the luxuries are optional. The necessities are the necessities. खाना पीना सोना, mental peace, birth death old age disease, इनसे निकलना, these are the necessities. To have phones, to have laptop, to have high speed internet, to have these luxuries of ACs, fans, and lights. It is good to have. We are not against it. Don't try to think, okay, so now we are propagating this Vedic culture and we need to live in the huts and leave everything here only and just let us go to Cholo Ghar Baar Chalo Haridwar. We are not trying to make that point. We are trying to understand that we have advanced so much, but in the wrong direction, without considering to solve the real issues and real problems of life. So here Muhammad Ali claimed once that I am the greatest, and then he got the Parkinson disease and he was not even able to lift the candle in the Olympics. Yeah. So we are not the great, or what to speak about the greatest. So we see, can scientific advancement help us to put a full stop to all the sufferings? No, it cannot. Martin Luther King said once, now man can find salvation and not salvation. We are going to moon, but we have completely destroyed the earth, which was given to us where we very happily. So this is a plastic diet. ये हम सबका है. So While science is claiming to give us a good life, we are seeing what is happening throughout the world. Complete destruction, and the wars are coming up one after another. Temporary solutions which we have for our problems. Okay, so old age is there. So black white hair को कर सकते हैं black. Yes. And अगर आपका जो skin है वो उसको facelift से we can just make it smooth again. So we can remove wrinkles by facelift. We can, if we have pain, we can remove it by painkillers. Even if we are just about to die, ventilator mein you can live. Somehow or other you will be sustained. So these are some patch up solutions for our problems. This is the reality, and this is what we see in the advertisements and the movies and series and everything. This is kind of a patch up solution. So science and technology cannot stop old age, cannot eradicate disease, and hardly has any understanding of life and death. So therefore, where to go now? From here. Problem without solution. Can there be any problem in the world without solution? Please reply. How many of you say no? Okay, almost everyone. Okay, how many of you say that there can be some problems? Iska solution now. Okay, good. Thank you for being truthful. So just imagine having a problem without solution is like having a lock without a key. So क्या ऐसा हो सकता है ताले बनाने वाले ने ताला बनाया और चाबी नहीं बनाई, वो बोला लो अब तोड़ लो करो मजे। ताला बना दिया और वो भी बहुत कॉम्प्लेक्स लॉक है, इसको चाबी भी नहीं है, एंड यू अब आप इस पे माथा फोड़ो या पत्थर से फोड़ो, यू डू वट एवर यू लाइक, बट देयर इज नो की। नो, इट विल नॉट हैपन। अगर ताला है तो चाबी भी होती है, अगर प्रॉब्लम है तो सोल्यूशन भी है। It is just the point is where we are looking for it, where we are finding it. So luxuries and comforts offered by science and technology is just like a fish being offered with all these things. You know, मछली जल की रानी है, जीवन उसका पानी, हम सबने सुना है ना। बट अगर मछली को जल से निकालें और उससे बोले ठीक है, टेक दिस लैपटॉप, टेक दिस आईफोन, टेक दिस बर्गर, पिज्जा, स्मोकिंग, सिगरेट, टेक ऑल ऑफ दीज लग्जरीज, बी हैप्पी, व्हाट फिश विल से? हाँ, he won't be in a condition to say, because he will be just being miserable. अरे it will say बाबा ये सब अपने पास रखो और देना है तो देना, बट पहले मुझे पानी में डालो। Yes, first put me in the water, then give whatever you want to give. क्योंकि मछली जल की रानी और जीवन उसका हाथ लगाओ, you know this poem, हाथ लगाओ बाहर निकालो, and one of the student he was saying कुकर में डालो पक जाएगी, मुंह में डालो खप जाएगी। मतलब ये इतने अच्छे पोएम्स, इनको भी नॉन वेज बना दिया, मतलब इतना ज्यादा नॉन वेजिटेरियन फैल रहा है। एनीवे, द पॉइंट इज टू अंडरस्टैंड इज फिश कैन ओनली बी हैप्पी इन द वाटर। वी आर सोल, वी आर नॉट दिस बॉडी। Here the point is coming, Kritan, what I was trying to explain to you yesterday. We don't belong to this world altogether. In the first session, we all understood that there is a Dukkhale in which we all are living. Yes, Krishna called this world as Dukkhalayam Ashashvatam. So can there be only Dukkhale? क्या सुखालय नहीं होगा? अगर धूप है तो छांव है, अगर रेगिस्तान है तो समुद्र है, अगर सुख है तो दुख है, सो अगर दुखालय है तो सुखालय भी है। This world in the Sanskrit in the scriptures is known as Kuntha. Kuntha means full of miseries, and the spiritual world is known as Vaikuntha. Vaikuntha means without any single tinge of misery, without any negativity, without any darkness. A place full of bliss, full of knowledge, full of eternity. There, Krishna says, if one reaches that place, he need not to come back again to this world. So very important story is there. एक बार एक राजा था, नॉट एक राजा नहीं था, एक पर्सन था, एंड ही वेंट टू वन आइलैंड, एंड वो आइलैंड में गया एंड समहाउ ही गॉट लॉस्ट, एंड देन वहां पे उसको जो आदिवासी होते हैं उन्होंने पकड़ लिया, And he was really horrified कि अरे ये तो लगता है मुझे काट के खा जाएंगे. I'm going to die. And then there was one translator, and he said, "Oh, don't worry, they are going to make you a king of their place." And he was like, "Really?" He said, "Yes." He said, "Today is a very auspicious day. It is a new year of these people. And on this day, whoever they find in the jungle will become really happy. Wow, I am going to become a king. And then he told him that, but there is one problem. So, what's the problem? Said, after 1 year, because they do this ceremony every year, ना. So, 1 साल के लिए तो आप राजा रहोगे. 1 साल बाद क्या करेंगे ना, ये आपको एक दूसरे आइलैंड में छोड़ के आ जाएंगे. और उस आइलैंड में कोई इंसान रहता नहीं है और रह सकता भी नहीं है. Because that island is full of deadly snakes, reptiles, animals, and is not sustainable for human beings. And he became really horrified. So what is the use of becoming a king? After 1 year, I need to die only. But he was a smart fellow. So 1 साल जब हुआ, and जब उसको लेके जा रहे थे दूसरे आइलैंड की तरफ, every year they used to have this experience कि वो जो व्यक्ति होता था, he used to cry, lament, fight, willing to go away, run away. But they used to catch him like anything. But this person was very happy. He was going with the pride of an elephant. And then they were in shock. Why it is like that? And that translator, they asked the translator, ask him why he's so happy. What is wrong with him? उसको पता नहीं कि ये कहाँ जा रहा है. And then they asked, and that person told the translator, जब मैं 1 साल के लिए राजा था, उस समय तो सब कुछ मेरे हाथ में था. So what I did is, I sent a few people, giving them heavy amount of money to that island where you are taking me. And वहां पे already मेरे लिए एक नया with big walls. And no one is going to kill me. I have the whole army. I have paid them some sufficient amount of money. So they are going to take care of me there. So I'm going to live there forever happily. Smart approach है ना? Intelligent approach. That is the purpose human life. That is the purpose of human life. An intelligent being, Krishna says, in this life, plans and gets prepared for his next journey. Well prepared for the next journey. So that at the time of death, he is not fearful as all other beings are. Because उसको पता है वो कहाँ जा रहा है, and जहाँ जा रहा है वहाँ पे permanent happiness and bliss exist करता है. So that is a smart approach. So the wise and the foolish. So this is the difference between the two. We all are in a journey of our life. It is just similar to the journey of the train. ट्रेन में काफी सारे लोग हमारे साथ आते हैं, एंड टाइम टू टाइम एक एक करके एक एक स्टेशन पे लोग क्या होते हैं, उतरते जाते हैं. वो हमको छोड़ के जाते जाते हैं. And then we are alone. Words come. This words comes that when Yudhishthir Maharaj was asked this question by one of the what this say, Yamraj ji asked this question to him. Yaksha, yes, Yaksha, in the form of Yaksha. So he was a world. सबसे अचंभित करने वाली चीज क्या है इस दुनिया की? And then he replies with this verse. Ani ani bhutani gachanti ha yamalayam sheshasthavram ikchanti kimmacharyam mathaparam. He is saying every moment person is seeing that so many people are dying. Recently I went to home. Generally I don't see news and these newspapers. I just look at current affairs from the proper sources, but these Indian newses and newspapers are filled with negativity. ये मर गया, वो मर गया, इसको जला दिया, उसको मार दिया, ये कर दिया, वो. मतलब what is going on? So complete nonsense is there. So I don't prefer to read it. Devotees generally don't read newspapers, but it is filled with these newses. Yes, so we know that so many people are dying, but still we don't wake up, we don't take to prepare our lives for this wonderful thing. Yudhishthir Maharaj says is about the world. By seeing, hearing, understanding the reality of life, and we spend our lives in just trying for something material and to gain some goals which are going to be vanished with time. It does not mean that we should not pursue, go for it. Devotees are also there on high positions in the world. But while we are having it, we know that this is not my goal. This is just one of the checkpoint of my life to reach the ultimate goal. Okay. So this is a goat mentality. Goats का भी mentality ऐसे होता है. एक कट रही होती है, but other goats are enjoying the grass outside. They don't realize that next is our number. So now the permanent solution. Sufficient wisdom we have got of the real problems, and I hope we have understood. So what is the permanent solution? As we have discussed, हर एक समस्या का समाधान है. So यहाँ पे भी समस्या का समाधान है. Permanent solution क्या है? Vedic wisdom. First, Kritin, myself, Yash, Raghav, and one other student, we were having this discussion yesterday for 1.5 hours on karma and everything. Kritin was asking so many questions about that. So I told him that today we are going to discuss it. We are soul. Yes, that we have understood in the second session. We came to this material body. And there are laws of karma which are working. That we are going to discuss in the upcoming sessions also. The question is, why and when I came to this world at first place? सबसे पहले मैं आया ही क्यों? Yes. So why am I suffering? Also in detail, for that we need to have sessions on it, and we will be having. But today I'm just touching and answering that question. जैसे कोई बच्चा होता है, उसके पिताजी बिलियनियर हो सकते हैं, maybe the richest person in the whole world. But let's say if the son becomes rebellious to the father, and if he says, no, I don't want to follow you, I don't want to be with you, I want to have my own startup. I will build my own company, and I'll enjoy separately than you. So then what the father will do? This father with all the why you are struggling so hard, why you need to work so hard to get all these things, to build everything from scratch and to enjoy separately. I have everything for you. ये सब आपका ही तो है. पढ़ो बच्चा, नहीं, I want to have my own. मेरा खुद का होना चाहिए. I want to be the controller. I want to be the enjoyer. I want to be the proprietor. Although you are saying it is all of me also, ये सब मेरा भी है, but property के कागज में तो आपका नाम है ना, मेरा नाम थोड़ी है. I want my name. Okay, so then the Supreme Lord says, okay, so in the spiritual world, everything is eternal. Everything is self-sufficient, everything is blissful. But in the material world, we need to create things. So in a spiritual world, there cannot be any creation. But in material world, the creation, maintenance, and destruction keeps going on. And therefore, the souls which don't want to be, those souls who don't want to be with the Lord and to be with Him and to enjoy that unlimited bliss with Him, they come to this material world to have their own separate startups, to have their own small families, their own little cars, little bungalows, little apartments, little profile. And then we feel like I am also Ishwar. Ishwar means, Ishwar का literal meaning क्या होता है? You know that? Ishwar means controller. How many of us want to be the controller? Truly speaking, हार्ट से बताइए कौन कौन हम कंट्रोलर बनना चाहते हैं? सारी चीजें मेरे हिसाब से हो, जो मैं चाहूँ वैसा हो जाए. If I want this, it should happen. If I want that, that should happen. We all want to be the controller. That is intrinsic, and for that purpose only we come here. Otherwise, there is no other purpose. As soon as that desire comes in our heart, we are sent to this world. And if we rectify with God and with His words, which are given in Bhagavad Gita, then everything becomes again blissful. Then again we can go back to Him and live a life full of joy and bliss. So what is the goal of life? The goal of life is to come out of this cycle of repeated birth and death. That is the ultimate goal. If we can do that, our lives are successful. If we are somehow or other missing it, then it's very difficult. Because anything we achieve in the world, at the end of the day, we need to start fresh. Therefore, when Alexander the Great, he died, he asked his ministers to put his hands out of his tomb. हाथ उनके जो उनके कब्र के बाहर रखने को बोले like this. And they asked why? He said to show the world that I have conquered the whole world. But I have not taken anything with me at the end. It needs to be here only. That is the essence of life. And therefore, we need to work on our spiritual journey and our spiritual progress. Here Krishna says this in Gita, Vasam Sijunani Yata Vyaya, Navani Ganati Naropurani, Tata Shairani Vyaya Jirani, Anyani Samyati Navani Dehi. Oh, Advait, I was missing you from last 2 sessions. Where were you? Acha. So can you cover these sessions through recordings? Huh? And then from next week, please come. Okay. So this is the spiritual solution. So what happens to us at death? It is just as easy as this. So cycle से bike पे, bike से car से कोई jet में जा सकता है as he grows in his money and in his opulence. So gradually a person can evolve in his opulence. So this is the real theory of evolution which is given in the scriptures. Scripture says evolution is there, but not of the body, but of the soul. That is the whole point. Soul evolves from one body to another, from one species to another, and ultimately it comes to this human form. And with this human form, we can make our life successful. We can go back home, back to Godhead. That facility is not available in lower living beings. That dog, which always comes in the room, if you open the door and come in just few minutes, that cannot understand all of this subject matter. He cannot practice this spiritual life. That is the main and major difference. That is, you can say, the most important difference between us and the other beings. So here Krishna is calling all of us to come back to him. If you read Gita, please try it once at least in your life. From the 2nd chapter till 18th chapter. From 2nd chapter, Krishna starts speaking. After this session, we are having session of the senior students. And there we are going through Gita chapter by chapter, verse by verse. And there we are going to discuss the 2nd chapter, 1st verse of Gita, which Krishna has spoken in Gita. Today we are going to have that discussion. So in every chapter you will find it. Krishna says it, you do this and you will come back to me. You do this and you will come back to me. You do this and you will come back to me. The whole purpose of Gita, the whole purpose of Krishna to come here and to speak this great wisdom, great science to all of us is to call all of us, oh my dear son, oh my dear friend, just come back. Come back to me. You are in a place which is supposed to give you misery all the time, and therefore don't be here. Come with me and you can enjoy with me the infinite opulence which I possess, and which is all belonging to you also. So we accept another body on the basis of these two things, desire in the mind and good or bad karma. And in this way, this soul जो है वो अलग अलग species में भ्रमण करता रहता है. Okay. So law of karma is very easy. As you saw, so shall you reap. जैसा हम बोएंगे वैसा हम काटेंगे. This is a simple understanding of the law of karma. And third law of motion, हम सबको पता है, every action has equal and opposite reaction. So those people who are doing some good, they need to also experience some good result in their life. And अगर कोई कुछ बैड कर रहा है, वो बैड करने के बाद हमको ऐसा लगता है वो गवर्नमेंट से बच के भाग गया, so then उसका रिएक्शन उसको कैसे मिलेगा? नो, इस गवर्नमेंट से हो सकता है वो बच के भाग जाए, बट यूनिवर्सल गवर्नमेंट से वो बच के भाग नहीं सकता. एंड वहां उसको रिजल्ट जरूर मिलेगा. एंड फॉर दैट इट कैन कम इन द नेक्स्ट लाइफ, मे बी इन द नेक्स्ट टू दैट, और मे बी आफ्टर सम लाइफ टाइम्स ऑल्सो. सो देयर इज इंस्टेंट कर्मा एंड देयर इज डिलेड कर्मा. आप कॉलेज कैंपस में गए, किसी को आपने थप्पड़ मारा, उसने घूम के आपको थप्पड़ मार दिया. Instant karma, instant action, instant reaction. And there is delayed karma. After 5 or 10 years, something after that, you'll get some fruits. Similarly, पढ़ाई से क्या चाहते हैं? जॉब लग जाए. Action now, but the result will come at last after a certain time period. So these are the two types of karma. Law of karma is very intricate. Krishna himself speaks about this in Gita, and we are going to have a series of sessions to understand law of karma. After these 6 sessions, your journey will continue if you want to continue. So we are going to have a series of sessions on law of karma, on dealing with mind, on so many other things, ritual versus spiritual, how to understand the supreme God. All these things will come. They are all lined up for you if you are participating in the sessions. So at last, to quickly wind up, 4 activities are there which should be completely avoided because they are considered very sinful. They give us very bad reactions, and on the material platform they are very miserable. अगर किसी को spiritual life practice करनी है, then he needs to definitely, certainly, as soon as possible, needs to avoid these things. What are these 4 things? First and foremost, meat eating. Meat eating is not at all healthy for any aspect of our life, and therefore that should be avoided. Second is intoxication. Intoxication should be avoided completely. अभी समय कम है तो मैं डिटेल में नहीं जा रहा हूँ. आई एम जस्ट टेलिंग यू व्हाट शुड बी अवॉइडेड. थर्ड इज गैम्बलिंग. टू गैम्बल. The first successful attempt in IIT which happened last year was because of this thing. He gambled, he lost his money, and then he committed suicide. Fourth is illicit sex. To get into relationships before marriage or beyond marriage is not allowed. Why? There's so many explanations for that. Even mentally, physically, we need to suffer a lot. Abhi IIT Bombay case, which we discussed. Sorry, sometimes students feel that these cases are why we discuss so much, but it is something which opens our eyes because it is something which is extreme, which is at extreme. That IIT Bombay student, he jumped off from the 10th floor of the hostel. And what was the trigger? One of our students only, Milan Khanda, he was doing MSc from here. He passed out this year. He also comes in the session. After this, he will be joining it. I was talking to him and he explained to me the real reason was he got a breakup. And that breakup was a trigger for him. So people are suffering a lot because of these issues. And therefore in Vedic culture, it used to be very sacred, these relationships. And they used to be kept very, you can say, carefully, dealt very carefully. Because if we do this mixing without any rules and regulations, we'll suffer. That is the thing. That is what happens. If you like, we can have sessions on this, how suffering comes, and we can discuss so many cases of the students, of the people, because of this, what kind of struggles came into their life and how they suffered. So therefore we need to avoid it. Just on a lighter part, okay, I'll share it some other time. So when we don't avoid these activities, what happens? We degrade in our lives. And हम अगर अभी यहाँ हैं इस प्लेटफॉर्म पे हैं तो हम डिग्रेड होते 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 और नीचे की तरफ जाते जाते हैं. And then we get into the complexities of karma. And also not just that, see what happens, these activities, as we discussed now, our karma and our desire decides the next body, our next body. So if let's say someone is very much obsessed for meat eating, then this body is not so suitable. In this body we cannot eat much, and it is not also made for eating meat. If you study biology also, meat is very complex, and to digest also it takes a lot of effort for the body. So, but the lion's body is made to eat meat only. He cannot eat grass. No, he will die but will not eat grass. He needs meat only. So then that body will be given. Similarly, if one is very much obsessed with the sleep, he will be given the body of polar bear. If one is very much obsessed with this, showing his body off, then he'll be given the body of trees, because they cannot wear the clothes at all. And then if we obey God's law, following the principles of austerity, sacrifice, knowledge, and association of saints, what happens? अगर ये 4 चीजें हम हमारे लाइफ में एड ऑन करते हैं, then we can attain the supreme destination and we can get rid of the real problems of life, that is the birth, old age, disease and death. That is what Shastra speaks about. ये 4 चीजें लाइफ में अगर आ जाएं, that is some तपस्या, sacrifice means some यज्ञ, in today's age we do sankirtan यज्ञ, knowledge which means spiritual knowledge, and association of saintly people. अगर इसको वाइंड अप करना चाहें 5 पॉइंट में कि प्रैक्टिस क्या करना है, तो प्रैक्टिस ये करना है, A for association of saintly people, which we are doing right now, which we are taking right now. B stands for books, to study books like Bhagavad Gita. C stands for chanting of the holy name of the Lord, that we have introduced in the last session. Today also I'll give you the glimpse of it, and we can start chanting by today itself. D stands for prasad, or at least sattvic diet, to eat only vegetarian food, to not eat non-veg. And E stands for engagement. We need to engage ourselves in the service of the Lord. To share one of the example, here we see Raghav is sitting with us. He's from 2nd year. How much he is trying to help all of us. Yeah, arranging the program, sending the messages, posters, he was pasting the posters, sending the mails. And Yash also, today when the prasadam came, he immediately came and he was picking those heavy containers from the auto and then putting them there. All of you, most of you, when the prasadam starts, you all come there and you say, okay, let us serve. So we can start with some little service now, and gradually that can increase with time. And the best service, Krishna says, is to share this spiritual wisdom with others. Krishna says in Gita, doing this service to me, उससे ज्यादा प्रिय तो ना मुझे कोई था, ना है, ना होगा. क्यों? क्योंकि what that person is doing, he is trying to connect those entities who have forgotten Krishna back to him. कोई भी फादर, कोई भी माता पिता है, उनको सबसे ज्यादा खुशी किस बात से होगी? अगर उनका कोई बेटा खो गया है या गलत पाथ पे चला गया है, अगर कोई उनको समझा बुझा के, मना के वापस से अपने माता पिता के पास वापस ले आए, then the parents will be most pleased with that person. That is what Krishna says. So we all need to develop this desire, that it does not take much time. I just took this wisdom for 1 year, and after that I was preaching it and helping others. So if we take it after just 1 year, 1.5 year, you all will become capable of sharing this wisdom with others. So that is very important, to be engaged in some service. And in this way, we can gradually advance and we can reach this supreme abode, which we all are looking for. So here we are currently, and that is our destination. Now, अभी हमने destination के बारे में ज़्यादा discuss नहीं किया है. In the upcoming sessions, we'll discuss कि destination क्या है. Actually, spiritual world है कैसा? We are saying that we need to go to spiritual world. How does it look like? वो है कैसा? वहाँ होता क्या है? वहाँ क्या खाते हैं, क्या बोलते हैं, क्या पीते हैं? What are the activities which are being conducted there? Why should I be desiring to go there? So that we'll be discussing. अभी हमें इतना तो पता चल गया कि वहाँ पे birth, death, old age and disease exist नहीं करता. वो place eternal है, full of bliss and full of knowledge है. इतना हमने समझ लिया. बाकी details we are going to discuss in the upcoming session. So here I would like to end this session with the summary. So this was, as I said, is going to be the important session of the whole course. Why? Because we discussed today the things which only spiritual path, spiritual practices can deal with. So we have real problems in our life. What is the criteria of real problems? Please quickly try to summarize. What is the criteria of the real problem? Common to all. Nobody wants it. Nobody can avoid it. What are these 4 real problems? Birth, old age, disease, and death. Then there are 3 kleshas. Apart from these 4 real problems, what are these? आध्यात्मिक, आदि भौतिक एंड आदि देविक। आदि आत्मिक मतलब जो बॉडी एंड माइंड से आता है, आदि भौतिक मतलब जो अदर लिविंग एंटिटीज से आता है, और आदि देविक मतलब जो नेचुरल डिजास्टर से आता है। देन वी हैव टेम्पररी सोल्यूशन which we are getting through science and technology. But what is happening, newer and newer diseases are coming, the problems are becoming more and more complex, डिसीज बढ़ रहे हैं, डेथ और ज्यादा हो रही है, लाइफ स्पैन भी डिक्रीज हो गया है, बॉडी यंग एज में भी ओल्ड एज जैसी हो गई है। ऑल दीज प्रॉब्लम्स आर कमिंग जस्ट बिकॉज वी आर सर्चिंग फॉर द राइट थिंग बट एट द रॉन्ग प्लेस। Okay, so there we understood also the story of desolate island and foolish goat mentality. Why I am suffering? Why I am suffering because we have forgotten our relationship with the supreme and divine, and we need to again reestablish it. Yeah, so the goal of life is to uh, go back to that eternal abode and to understand that I am the soul. I'm just taking different bodies based on my desires and karma, and therefore I need to first of all avoid these four pillars of sinful life, that is meat eating, intoxication, gambling and illicit sex. And then by obeying God's law, भगवान के नियम कानून जो है उनको पालन करके कैसे हम ये ABCD फॉर्मूला जो है उसको फॉलो कर सकते हैं। A फॉर एसोसिएशन, B फॉर बुक रीडिंग, C फॉर chanting, D for diet, and E for some engagement in the service of the Lord. So with this, we can attain that supreme destination. Thank you very much to all of you.